In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this really pretty stitch. Now, this stitch has no official name as such, but it is essentially just a modification of the classic moss stitch. It works great if you change colour, like I have for the sample, but it also looks really pretty when you work it in one solid colour. To begin, pop a slip knot onto your hook. Now, the pattern multiple for this stitch is 3 plus 2. Now, all that means is you're going to chain in multiples of 3, 3, 3, 3 till your project is as wide as you want it to be, then add 2 chains right at the very end. I'm only going to be making a small sample today, so I'm going to go ahead and chain 23. For row 1, we're going to be working into the 3rd chain from the hook. Now, this loop on your hook does not count as anything. You only want to count the fully formed chains hanging down below. So 1, 2, 3. And into that 3rd chain, work 1 single crochet. Now, these skipped chains form a little space which we will be working into on the next row. So at this point, it might be handy to grab a stitch marker. Find that little space where your skip chains are, in between your skip chains and your single crochet. There we go. Make sure I'm getting all of the stitch out of the way. So here are those 2 chains and it has a tiny little gap. Pop a stitch marker into that gap. It's quite small, it's easy to miss, so it's just handy to mark it now. Then, working along the chain, we're going to work 1 single crochet into each chain all the way along. I'm also going to be changing colour at the end of this row, and that is always done in the final stitch. So 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way across. Now, once I have reached the other side over here, I have 1 chain left, but I want to change colour in this stitch. So I'm going to start my single crochet, but I'm not going to finish it with the current colour. I'm just going to drop the current colour, bring in my next colour, leaving a nice long tail for weaving in. I'm going to loop it over and pull it through to complete my single crochet. Now, if you want to just knot these 2 together, keep everything a bit neat, you can, but you don't have to. You can also snip off this old colour if you want to. Then for row 2, we're going to chain 2 and turn. Now we're going to skip the stitch where we just chained from, and into the next stitch we're going to work 1 single crochet. And again, just take your hook out for a second, those 2 chains and that little space, a lot easier to see on this row, but still worth marking with a stitch marker just whilst you get the hang of this pattern. Now we're going to chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and into the 3rd stitch work 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. Chain 1, skip 2 stitches and work 2 single crochets into the next. Chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and into the next work 2 single crochet, both into that same place, the same stitch. Chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 2 single crochets into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 2 single crochet into the next. then chain 1, skip 2 stitches and 2 single crochet into the next. You repeat that all the way across until you reach the other side where you have 1 single crochet and that initially quite tight chain 2 space at the end. It's only this tight on the very first row. After, when we come back for row 3, it's much easier to spot and to work into, I promise. It's a bigger space. Now to finish row 2, we're going to chain 1 and work a single crochet into this chain 2 space at the end. So we're skipping over the single crochet and aiming for that gap, that tiny, tiny gap. So I'm forcing my finger in to pull it apart a bit here. We work 1 single crochet in there to end, and I'm also going to change color again. So putting my hook straight into that chain 2 space, draw up a loop, then grab your next color and loop it over and pull the new color through to complete the stitch. Again, you can tie it off and then trim off your old color. Oops, I take out my stitch marker. Don't need that in there anymore, but hang on to that because I'll need it in a second. All right, row 3 is the pattern repeat row. Now all that means is row 3 is the row you're going to repeat over and over and over again until your project is the length that you want it to be. So we're going to chain 2 and turn. Now find the chain 1 space. From this point on, we're working into spaces, not into stitches. Find that first chain 1 space is in between your set of 2 and that stitch that you just changed color in. Into that chain 1 space, work 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. Now again, take a moment to mark that chain 2 space just whilst you're getting used to this stitch pattern. So here, I'll separate it out very carefully. There is the chain 2 space, and I'm just going to pop my stitch marker in so I can spot it on the way back. Now working across this row, we are going to chain 1, skip the 2 single crochets, find the next chain 1 space and work 2 single crochet into that chain 1 space. It gets infinitely easier now. Chain 1, skip the stitches and find the chain 1 space, and into that chain 1 space work 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. Chain 1, skip the stitches and find the next chain 1 space and work 2 single crochet into it. Chain 1, skip the stitches, find the next chain 1 space and work 2 single crochet into it. We're repeating this all the way across. Chain 1, skip your 2 single crochets and work 2 single crochets into the next chain 1 space. Once you have worked all the way across the row, you will be at the end here where we have 1 single crochet and the chain 2 space. To finish row 3, we chain 1 and work 1 single crochet into that chain 2 space. If you want to change color, again, this is the stitch in which to change color. So you would start your single crochet with your old color and finish it by looping over a new color. Trim off the old, knot them together gently if you want to, and you can of course remove your stitch marker. And from this point on, we simply repeat that last row, row 3 again. So chain 2, 1, 2, turn your work and into this first chain 1 space, work 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. Mark that chain 2 space with your stitch marker. You don't have to. If you're confident spotting that space, then by all means carry on. But if you're unsure, it's always worth just sticking your stitch marker in if you can. Well, I can't work my stitch marker today, but that'll do. That's close enough. Then we're just repeating what we did in the last row all the way across. Chain 1, skip the 2 single crochets and work 2 single crochet into the next chain 1 space. 1 and 2. Chain 1, skip the stitches, find the next chain 1 space and work 2 single crochet. 1 and 2. Repeat this all the way along until you've run out of these chain 1 spaces to work into. And once you are at the far side, right at the end here, you will have 1 single crochet and your chain 2 space. End the row by working a chain 1 and single crochet into that chain 2 space at the end. And if you wanted to change color in that stitch, or alternatively, just carry on with the same stitch. Then repeat row 3 again. Chain 2, turn, work 2 single crochet into that chain 1 space, chain 1, 2 single crochet into the next chain 1 space. We're not working into any stitches, we only work into the space. Chain 1, skip stitches, 2 single crochet into that chain 1 space. So we're just repeating row 3 over and over and over again, changing color if you want to. You don't have to change color. Keep with the same one if you want, until your project is the length that you want it to be. Once your project is the length that you want it to be and you have made your very last stitch, to finish off, we're simply going to chain 1, cut your yarn, leaving a nice long end to weave in, pull that up, out, through and tight, and you're done. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please do let me know what you think of this stitch down in the comment section below. And until next time, happy crocheting. Bye.